Hi, Essentials of Injury Prevention is a 6-week online course that I've put together on the back of the successful methodologies that we have used, especially in rugby league and rugby union over the past 6, 7, 8 years. Now, over the years, I have tweaked my own personal methodology quite a bit as both research has evolved and also on the back of a lot of mistakes, but also successes that we have used in the professional sporting setting. Now, the key word here is essentials. Now, I'm quite aware that luck definitely has a part to play in preventing injuries, but there's also a lot of basics that we can do extraordinary, both physiotherapists and strength and conditioning coaches and everybody in between. So although the skills coach and a head coach has a big part to play in it, the S&C and physio departments can work together in order to have that common goal of building strong, durable athletes. Now, in this 6-week online course, it's quite unique in that I give you not only my methodology and clinical reasoning for everything that I do, but I also take you through a 6-week program that I've built for a healthy athlete that may be prone to picking up niggles or is constantly just picking up these silly little injuries that is keeping them out for periods. Now, this can be used and split up into both pre-ab sessions, or it can be used with an athlete coming back from a long-term injury. And I've really built it on the basis of where our current thought process is on the back of both practical experience and research. Okay, so it really is a combination. It's 6 weeks where we really delve into the aspects that have worked so good for us and have given us a brilliant injury rate, especially in the last 3 years. The lecture one is the foundations of the Pro Sport Academy systems. This is currently where our heads are at in the methodology and the progressions, regressions that we're using, but most importantly, why we're doing what we're doing. I explain everything in detail about why I'm movement screening certain ways, what tests I'm using and why I'm using them, what actually are they really telling me, okay, and how do I use this information. Then we move on to our pre-training objective markers, where the tests that I use every day to both monitor my athletes, but also to react and maybe tweak our movement prep sessions or our rehabilitation sessions. I go into the kind of fine details of what I'm looking for and the reasoning behind why I'm using these markers, but also most importantly, what do we do with them on a daily basis. From there, we go on to lecture 3, which is all about movement options to desensitize the perceived threat. Now, athletes are constantly in their fight or flight system. They're constantly pushing their bodies to the limit. So the nervous system and the brain is interpreting this information. Now, this is very important to understand that we're not just dealing with a set of muscles of a particular athlete, or we're not dealing with an athlete that's constantly getting injured. We're dealing with nervous systems, brain's interpretations. So we've got some movement solutions that we can effortlessly both progress and regress in order to help the athlete's nervous system decrease that perceived threat. When we can decrease the perceived threat, then the nociceptive input is going to be also that little bit less. Now, this has big implications on athletes, especially in pre-season, where really they are pushing their bodies to the limit. They're almost going in their respiration systems, their musculoskeletal systems, and their nervous systems are being taxed to the absolute limit. And we have to have solutions that we can desensitize these perceived threats in all areas of the body, not just necessarily the muscles. Then we're going to move on to lecture 4, which is all about the importance of deceleration. Now, we need some certain aspects, especially about the respiratory system, and also integrating that with the whole body and the neurology before we even worry about training an athlete to decelerate. Now, deceleration happens everywhere when we're sprinting and also when we're changing direction. And especially in sports where there's a lot of change of direction, usually that's where we find the tissues get stressed. It exceeds the ability to manage these loads and ultimately pain or injury occur. Now, I've got a really successful system that I've integrated, progressing right through from when the athlete's ready to get off the bed, when he's ready to bear weight through the lower limbs, right through to an acceleration, deceleration, change of direction program. We can use this effortlessly, training the athlete both subconsciously and consciously, so that we can get movements to make that athlete successful, really improving his ability to really move through a variance of options. Okay, from lecture 5, then we talk about the role of other departments in the injury prevention system. So then we delve into a little bit more on the actual in the gym, what's happening when athletes are getting manual therapy. Is massage actually a good thing, or can it actually cause problems? Now, I've seen firsthand how if we just massage and really release tissues that feel tight, the actual impact that can have on an athlete's ability to move and be successful. So really, we have to have that concept and that real awareness that we are dealing with nervous systems. What is that tissue telling us when that athlete feels tight? So I go into that in quite a bit of detail and share with you my strategies that I have implemented in the soft tissue sports massage department, as well as integrating some subtle changes into their gym movements to work effortlessly between the strength and conditioning and the physiotherapy department. Then we're going into week 6, which is the program design. Here I will show you how to put it all together, right through from when you first meet your athletes, if you're going into a new environment, right to stepping back and just having a look with a different thought process for the athletes that you're currently working with. I will take you through how I movement screen, how I screen 30 to 50 athletes in up to 2 hours, so I don't waste too much time gaining loads and loads of information that ultimately will just go into a filing cabinet. I'll show you exactly what to do with this information and how important this information can be and be really, really useful. From here, we'll go into the daily monitoring, what I'm personally looking at, how we implement that, what does that mean for us, what does that information mean. From here, we'll actually go to the program design of our movement preparation systems and actual sessions. We'll go into in terms of volume of movements that we may want, why we're doing them, and most importantly, what does that athlete need on that particular day. From here, I'll show you what we might implement in the gym, how this follows through into the gym, and then from there, how that carries through onto the field, both in terms of acceleration, deceleration, change of direction prep. Finally, I just cover a little bit on actually what is a recovery session, because recovery sessions, and in these days in this world of these great sports science advances and all this fancy equipment, actually, are we doing the fundamentals right? When we recover an athlete, are we getting them out of a fight or flight system and allowing them to recover and get them back into their rest and digest? And very often we forget this with all our fancy gadgets these days and all these monitoring tools. Are we doing the basics absolutely extraordinary? And that is essentially what this whole Essentials of Injury Prevention course is about. It's about doing the basics extraordinary. Now, this course is backed by proof. Over the last 3 years in the UK's Super League competition, okay, the elite competition in rugby league, the Huddersfield Giants have had the best injury records. They've had the most amount of players available each week based on the back of this methodology. Now, I am going to take you through my clinical reasoning for this. So this isn't just a set of movements and set of lectures that sound good in theory. This is what I have done for the past 3 years. This is where our thought process, our heads are at the moment, and we are constantly fine-tuning this. You'll also get access to a private Facebook group where you can ask any questions, because I don't want you to have this information. I want you to understand this information so that you can apply it and you truly understand what you're trying to achieve with your athletes. If something doesn't go quite as expected, that you understand why that is. From there, then, we can regress or progress effortlessly so that your athlete can be successful. And this really is the key for this course compared to other courses. I don't want you just to have all my information. I want you to understand it and be successful with your athletes just like I've been so successful with my injury prevention systems over the last 3 years. So I hope you're going to join me inside the members area, and I look forward to showing you in more detail the thought processes and also the actual practical application of why we have been so successful with this methodology over the last 3 years. So join us inside, and I'll see you on the next video.